Hi guys, it's Jessica Q here again. Thank you so much for all of your interest and your sweet comments on my creamy skin editing tutorial video. A few of you have expressed interest in seeing how not only do I create my batch editing action in Photoshop, but also how I use Portraiture with my batch editing. So I'm going to show you a little bit on the different ways that you can use the Portraiture plugin. You can get the Portraiture plugin for both Lightroom and Photoshop. I believe it's like $100 per platform. Because I have both, I only use the Portraiture plugin in Photoshop, and I'm going to tell you why and show you guys why. Using the Portraiture plugin in Lightroom takes a lot more time than it does in Photoshop. So I'm going to show you what it looks like right now here in Lightroom. So I have this beautifully edited image. I'm going to right click on it, go to Edit in, Imaginomic Portraiture. So what this is going to do is it's going to create a copy with your Lightroom adjustments, and then it'll open up the Portraiture editing panel here in just a second. And here you go. Again, I never want to go anything above a normal because I want a smooth skin tone but not have it look fake. I'm going to click OK. So as you can see in Lightroom, it's taking quite a bit of time for it to just edit one image because it has to create a copy and then run the Portraiture plugin. And as you can imagine, doing this on hundreds or even thousands of photos on a wedding day can take quite a lot of time. So I want to show you next on how I use Portraiture with my batch editing action in Photoshop. So we're going to go to Photoshop here and open that exact same image. Before we do anything within Photoshop, I'm going to go to desktop. You can do this in your desktop or in one of your external hard drives. I created a folder called PS Edits, and this is where we're going to tell Photoshop to save all of our batch edited processed images into this folder when they're done. So here in my Actions panel, I have it deactivated, and we're going to create an action for our batch editing. I'm going to click on this option here and go to New Action, and I'm going to call it JQP Batch Edit Port. I'm going to color it yellow. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go to Filter. So now we're recording any action that you're doing in Photoshop right now. So I'm going to run the Portraiture plugin within Photoshop. Keep it at normal, click OK. And you can see it's still taking time to apply the Portraiture plugin, but you only have to do this once, and then you can just reuse your action for the rest of your images moving forward. So for my batch editing action, not only do I like to use the Portraiture plugin, but I also like to sharpen the image just a little bit. So I'm going to run this slight sharpen action here. So I'm going to highlight that action and click play, and then that's it. So now we're good to go. Once you're done with all of your edits, I'm going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to save it into that PS Edits folder that we created earlier. We're going to click Save, hit OK because you want to use it, save it as the maximum quality. And then you always want to X out of the image. And then you're going to go down here and hit the stop recording button here. So what I just did within Photoshop is I created an action not only to run the Portraiture plugin, but to also sharpen that image. And then I told Photoshop where to save that image. And then I X'd out of that image so that when we run the action again later, it'll automatically do all of those actions for you, and you don't have to manually open an image, edit it, and then save it. Open an image, edit it, and save it. This action does it all for you. So once we're done creating that action, we're going to activate our Actions panel again. I'm going to click Button Mode. So here I have all of my handmade JQP actions. You'll see, like, I have all of these actions that I purchased when I first started out 5 years ago. I don't recommend you doing that because that's just not the way to go. And I haven't used any of these actions in years. Okay, so now that we created our action, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So normally once I edit all of my photos and export them out of Lightroom, I do this overnight and I set it and I forget it, and I wake up the next day and all of my images have the Portraiture plugin and the sharpened added to the photos. So we're going to go to File, Automate, choose Batch. We're going to play the action from my JQP set, and the action that I'm going to choose is the one we just created, JQP Batch, Edit, and Port. We're going to choose the source folder, and I created a folder earlier with a couple images for this demonstration purpose. I'm going to hit OK. Because we already told Photoshop what to do and where to save the photos, we don't have to worry about the destination here or anything else right here. So you only have to choose these 3 options right here. And I'm going to click OK. And you can see just how fast that went. The first 3 images that have just been edited, that went by so quickly. I'm going to show you here. So I'm going to open PS Edits. Hang on one second. I think there's a user error. Sorry, I created like 2 different PS Edits. Here we go. So here are the 3 photos that Photoshop just went through lightning fast. And you can see that it applied the Portraiture plugin and a little bit of the sharpening. So there you go. I hope this was helpful for you in terms of seeing how Portraiture works in not only Lightroom but also Photoshop, but also how much creating a batch editing action can really save your life when you're trying to edit hundreds of images overnight. So please feel free to follow my channel on YouTube. I think that's where I'm going to be posting the majority of my photos from here on, or the majority of my tutorials from here on out, so that you guys can get a notification whenever something new pops up. Let me know if this was helpful to you at all, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.